Hi, I'm Craig Davis, and with me today are Robyn Winters and Ken Banks. They're co-authors of a new book called Brain Branding: Activate the Brain, Stimulate Your Brand. Robyn, Ken, good to be with you today.
Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Craig. Now, it seems like there are any number of books out there about brands and branding. What led you to write yours?
You're right. There are many books on branding, almost as many as there are definitions for the word. And Robyn and I really wanted to dispel the myth about that branding was nothing more than advertising or marketing campaign or repackaging or redesigning a store. It was much more than that. We really wanted to delve into, what was it that would make a relationship between a consumer and the brand?
Robyn, what makes brain branding so different?
When Ken and I met, we realized that there was a synergy. There are two key elements that make up brain branding. One is traditional brand strategy development that we combined with the 4 different ways that people make buying decisions. In the book, we call it buying styles. So you have brand strategy development, 4 buying styles. When you put them together, it goes way beyond a slogan or a logo or even a marketing campaign.
I see now. Now, as I understand it, you two come from 2 very different and distinctive backgrounds that are behind the blending that you just talked about. How did that work when you came together to write the book?
You see, what makes brain branding so different is that it combines the expertise that Robyn has in communication and buying style with my expertise in developing an effective brand strategy. The combination really provides a unique and different way of defining a brand and understanding how a brand is totally different.
As I listen to you speak, it sounds like this is maybe a more scientific approach to branding. If that's the case, then why aren't all those sophisticated companies out there practicing it?
They don't know about it.
Right.
We designed this. We put it together. We married the art of marketing with the science of buying styles, the 4 buying styles of the brain. Nobody else has done that before. It's truly, truly revolutionary, and it will help to encompass more people as a result.
Why do you suppose that companies continue to limit their target markets even today?
Well, first of all, in today's economy, the financial pressures, particularly among retailers, for example, really force companies to refine their target market so specifically that they don't want to waste any of their media dollars or their messages on those who don't fit their exact profile. Now, we're in an era of CRM, customer relationship marketing. And the problem with that is that we want to go so specifically, we want to define who our customer is and what motivates them and the products they buy.
What you say really does ring true. Now, Robyn, in the book, you say that an individual who's developing their own personal brand, for example, can make use of the techniques and the principles of brain branding. It's not just for big corporations or even for small businesses. How does that work?
In today's economy, many people who are in transition or are reevaluating their careers decide that they want to start their own business. And they say, how do I do it? Brain branding gives them the process to define a brand, to do the research necessary to see if it's viable, and to put it together so that they have a brand on the market that people will recognize and will be different. And they will develop it in a way that appeals to the 4 different buying styles of the brain.
In the book, you cite a number of different examples of companies in the marketing world who are getting it right, in your opinion, who are demonstrating some of these principles of brain branding. Can you share some of those examples?
One of the most successful brands and retailers in the world is Apple, and I think you'd agree with me on that. And not long ago, I converted to a Mac and to an iPhone at the same time. And going through the process, it occurred to me, because Robyn and I were writing the book at that time, that Apple was living up to the 4 steps of our branding process and identifying the 4 buying styles that we had talked about in the book that we were writing.
Understood. And in many ways, as you say, the relator buying styles, the individuals who work at Apple and for Apple, in many ways, are one and the same as their customers.
Definitely.
Now, you have several worksheets in the book. Is this a process that I could go through on my own to develop a personal brand that, as you say in the book, resonates with more people?
Yes. Earlier when I was talking about how someone like you could define their own new brand starting a business, then the next logical question would be, well, how do I do that? We have 4 worksheets, each one for one of the 4 steps in the brain branding process. So you, for example, would create your vision, you would figure out how to connect people emotionally to your brand, conduct research, and construct a plan. Now you've got the whole picture. And in the process, you may come up with some aha moments, and you think, this is what makes my brand different. This is how I will be more successful.
This all sounds wonderful. It sounds great from a marketing standpoint, and it certainly makes a lot of sense. But here's the big question. Does it actually work?
Well, you bet it works. And many of the examples that we use in the book verify that fact, that it is truly a successful proposition. You see, it works also in the long term, not just the short term. Because for a brand to succeed, it has to go beyond the marketing and advertising, and it really has to build a relationship with the consumer and within the organization itself.
You know, it sounds as though brain branding is not only a very interesting concept, a very interesting technique, but it sounds like it is very broadly applicable, like it can help any number of different people and companies as well. Well, the book is called Brain Branding. Activate the brain, stimulate your brand. It's available on Amazon and Kindle. Ken, Robyn, thanks very much for talking with us today.